Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are diving deep into a battle we all fight, procrastination. But we're going to look at it in a totally different way. See, it's not some character flaw or a sign that you're lazy. Nope, it's more like an inner zombie, a pre-programmed response that we can actually understand and, believe it or not, we can learn to tame. All right, let's get into it.
So let's just start with the million-dollar question, right? Why? Why do we suddenly feel the urge to clean our entire apartment when we have a huge deadline looming? Why do we scroll endlessly through our phones when we're supposed to be set in? We know what we need to do, but for some reason, we just don't. It's this super common human thing, and the real reason why is probably not what you think.
And here it is. This is the big idea that changes everything. We've all been told to just try harder or have more willpower. But what the research shows is that's not it at all. Procrastination isn't about being weak-willed. It's a natural, instinctive reaction to pain.
Yeah, you heard that right. Pain. It sounds a little dramatic, I know, but the brain science here is absolutely fascinating. So let's take a look at what is actually going on inside your brain when you decide to kick that can down the road.
Okay, so it all starts the second you even think about doing something you don't want to do. You know, it could be tackling your taxes, writing a tough essay, or making that phone call you've been avoiding. Your brain knows what's coming. And get this. Neuroscientists discovered that just anticipating that unpleasant task lights up the same regions of your brain that activate when you feel actual physical pain. How crazy is that? Your brain genuinely feels uncomfortable. And what's its number one job when it feels pain? To make it stop. The fastest, easiest way to do that is to just shift your attention to literally anything else that's more pleasant. And that, right there, is the whole cycle of procrastination. So, to really get a handle on this automatic, pain-avoiding thing our brain does, we're going to use a really great metaphor. It's time for you to meet your inner zombie. Don't worry, it's not as scary as it sounds. You see, a habit is basically your brain running on autopilot. It's a zombie mode that's designed to save energy. I mean, think about it. When you back your car out of the driveway, you don't consciously think through every single step, do you? Of course not. You just do it. That's a habit, a pre-programmed routine. And this zombie mode is super efficient, but it can also be triggered by things we want to avoid. So how do these zombie habits get built? Well, they're not random. They actually follow a really predictable four-part cycle. It's called the habit loop. And the moment you understand this loop, that's when you get the power to actually change it.
Let's walk through this with our old friend, procrastination. Number 1, the cue. This is the trigger. You see study for finals on your calendar. Ugh. The pain centers in your brain light up. Number 2, the routine. This is your zombie response. You immediately grab your phone and start scrolling. Number 3, the reward. Instant relief. That little dopamine hit of distraction feels good. And that reward is what locks in the routine. And finally, number 4, the belief. Over time, doing this again and again builds a belief. Something like, I can't do this now, I'll do it later when I feel like it.
Okay, so we've got this inner zombie that's trying to protect us from pain by running on this habit loop. It sounds a bit grim, right? But here is the good news, the really good news. We can absolutely tame this zombie. We don't have to fight it. We just have to give it a new, better set of instructions. And this, right here, is probably the single most powerful strategy to do it. We have to learn to shift our focus away from the product and turn it towards the process. The product, the finished 20-page report, that's the big, scary monster that triggers all the pain. But the process is just a tiny, manageable slice of time.
And the reason this works so well is because your inner zombie, your habit brain, loves a simple process it can just execute. Telling yourself, I have to write this whole chapter, is super intimidating. But telling yourself, I'm just going to sit down and work for a little while, well, that's something your friendly zombie can handle no problem.
So let's talk about how we actually put this into practice. How do we make focus on the process a real thing? Well, there's a simple but frankly genius tool that can help us do exactly that. Say hello to the Pomodoro. It's Italian for tomato, and the technique got its name because the creator, Francesco Cirillo, used a little tomato-shaped kitchen timer just like this one back in the 80s. The timer itself is incredibly simple, but the mental shift it helps you make is huge. And this is the magic number, 25 minutes. That's it. The whole point of the Pomodoro technique is you set a timer for just 25 minutes. And listen closely, your goal is not to finish the task. Your only goal is to work with focus for those 25 minutes. You're putting all your attention on the process,
not the product.
The rules are super simple, but you gotta stick to them. For those 25 minutes, you shut everything else down. Put your phone on silent, close the extra tabs, no distractions. You just work. Then when the timer dings, you stop. And this is critical. You have to give yourself a genuine reward. A few minutes to check your messages, grab a coffee, do some stretches. That reward is what helps you rewrite the old habit loop.
So what you're doing here is basically hacking your own brain. The cue is the same, that task you don't want to do, but you're changing the routine. Instead of avoid and feel bad, the new routine is work for just 25 minutes and then get a treat. You get a reward. You start building a new, better belief. Hey, I can actually do this. You're short-circuiting that pain response and teaching your inner zombie a much better trick.
I want to leave you with this quote because it is just perfect. It flips our whole idea of working hard on its head. That last-minute 10-hour cram session isn't a sign of dedication, it's the result of procrastination. Spaced-out, process-focused work is so much more effective.
And that pretty much wraps us up. So I'll just leave you with this one question to chew on. Forget about the giant mountain you have to climb. Just think about the very next step. What's one small process, just one thing, that you can focus on for just 25 minutes, today?